If you want to come in a sleeping pigeon pose, but you don't have a ton of time, you've come to the right place. Grab yourself a couple blocks. You can also use a couch cushion if it's longer, thick, by about 6 inches maybe. And then you can grab a yoga blanket or a towel will work just as well. Let's step to the top edge of your mat. Step the feet wider than your hips, and then turn the toes out a little wider even still. Let's take a slow squat down, tracking your knees over your toes. If you get low enough, the elbows might even drop inside of your inner thighs. Rise up, arms down, heart lifts, squat it back down. Let's do 10 of these, 10 more. Here we go. Dip and up. We're just pumping the body like a piston, trying to build some heat. 4, halfway through is 5, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Take it down again and then plant your hands. Step back to a plank pose with your shoulders over your fingertips, right? Not over the wrists, over the fingertips. So you got to be slightly forward. Then push your hips high and back, downward facing dog. The difference between plank pose and down dog is plank pose, we're trying to bring most of the weight into the arms, whereas in down dog, we're trying to bring most of the weight into the legs. But for all other intents, it's basically the same thing, although quite a big difference. Let's center your left foot towards the right foot, and then lift your right leg way up into the air for your dog split. Push the heart a little further back if you can. Make sure to squeeze that top leg through the glute and the thigh. Step your foot inside of your right thumb so that toes line up with fingertips. If the foot don't get there, just help it there. Let's anchor the back heel down so that the back toes are pointing forward and to the left. Push through the knife edge of the back foot. Feel the back leg squeezing long. Ground down through the front heel, keeping knee over heel. Take your arms forward and up to warrior one. A good warrior one, you're actually pretty low in the hips. Just make sure this thigh doesn't go past 90 degrees. That's too much tension on the knee joint. We don't want it. Now, what's interesting about warrior one is with that back foot turned out to the side, the hip tends to want to turn out to the side. So we're going to push again through the knife edge of the back foot to push that back hip forward. Then your hip points are square to the front of the mat. Reach your arms up again, hug the ribs in, trying to anchor your tailbone towards the floor as if you had a shovel between your butt cheeks. You're anchoring it down. Take your hands behind the back, right thumb on top. See if you can glue the palms together for a clamshell. Straighten through the elbows. Try to keep the palms pressing. Chin up, inhale. And then as you exhale, melt your rib cage onto your front thigh. Drop your head, look towards your back ankle. Start working the hands further high up and over your head. Now, when you get more advanced at this pose, you're going to take your shoulder inside of the front knee, bowing your head even lower. Just don't stick your right butt cheek out to the side. That's your front leg. Push your front shin forward, but pull that same front hip back and under you. It doesn't actually get there, but that'll engage your inner thighs. Pull the hands one more time, a little further towards the top of the mat, and then slowly release your hands. Frame your front foot. Step your back foot forward about 12 inches. Here's where you might want to grab blocks. We want to straighten your front leg completely. So if that means you're on blocks on highest height, so be it. You can just flatten out the back like a tabletop. If you can take blocks lower, or even medium, or even none, maybe you take your hands to the floor, but this front foot, it's not just on the ground. You gotta push it into the ground without letting your hips swing to the side. And again, for now, we could lengthen the spine. We probably want to bow the head at some point for a proper pyramid pose. Now soften the elbows on those blocks. If you've got your hands on the blocks, just relax the elbows. This is stretching out the hamstring of that front leg. Let's rebend your knees. Step the back foot back again. Toe heel the right foot out to the right, and then bring both hands under your shoulders so that your fingers line up with your toe tips. Try to be basically in a plank pose in your body except for the front leg forward. So pushing into the back foot, feel your butt squeeze, your ribs hug in, you're pressing down into the palms, and then you can look forward. Just make sure you're not hunching the shoulders. Keep the back of your neck nice and long. Take another breath here. And then can you keep your shoulders over your hands and simply step back to a plank pose? Now we could just push back into downward facing dog, or if you can, come forward to plank again. Maybe drop the knees, bend your elbows so that your shoulders go forward of the hands. Change to the tops of the feet, straighten through the arms. Try to get your knees and thighs to lift off the floor. Broaden across your collarbones. And then tuck your toes. Send your butt way high and back. We have returned to downward facing dog. Take a breath. Center your right foot towards your left foot. Take your left leg way up high. Squeeze it like you're trying to kick the ceiling with your heel. Draw the foot all the way forward to the top of the mat. Whatever you got to do to get the toes lined up with the fingers. Let's anchor the back heel down. And if you're having trouble getting that back heel down, you can always widen out the lunge from right to left. Okay, squeeze back leg. Press through front foot. When you come up, it should be a nice squeeze up. You don't want to hurl yourself to the sky. Remember to push the back hip forward and hug the ribs in as you ground down through both your feet, feeling that stretch in the ankles. Left thumb on top, back behind you. Find your clamshell. Straighten the elbows if you could. Chin up. And then rib cage to thigh. Head hinges. We're working the hands further up and over your head. And if and when you want to go deeper, snuggle that shoulder inside of the knee. See how low you want to go. Feel the front shin once again pushing forward. The hip pulls back underneath you. You can feel your knee touching the left shoulder. Stay and breathe. One more breath, please. Bring your hands back down slowly. You don't want to slap them to the floor. Shorten up your lunge by about 12. Toes are still pointing out to the side. Whatever you got to do as far as your blocks go to get this front leg to go straight. So whatever that means for you. Because unless it's straight, we're probably not getting an even stretch on both sides of the hamstring. Palms to mat, you can flatten out your back. Palms to block, same thing. And then go ahead and bow your head. Let's take one more breath. This is our pyramid pose. Push into the feet. And then rebend your front knee so we can set up for your lizard pose. Move that left foot over. Feel like you're in plank pose in the whole body except for that front leg. Heart is shining forward, you're looking forward. We're gonna hug that left knee in towards your shoulder. Stay and breathe, 2 more breaths. Hug it in like you got a valuable document on a windy beach and for some reason you're holding it between inner knee and shoulder. Now keep your shoulders over the hands. Step back to a plank pose. Again, you could drop the knees, or if you're ready for a chaturanga, try to lower halfway to the floor. Change to the tops of the feet. Straighten your arms, look up, shine heart, and then tuck or roll the toes. Send your hips back to your downward facing dog. Let's stay and breathe. 3 breaths. Trying to find evenness to the breath. Inhale to exhale, side. 2, 1 more. Let's bring your big toes to touch, feet forward a bit, shoulders over the hands, squat to the heels, step forward, take a flat back. Again, you could bring your hands on blocks to flatten out the spine. Forward fold, you can keep your hands on the blocks to bow towards your legs. Don't be afraid to bend your knees. And then move those blocks off to the top edge of your mat. Reach up, high up, way up. Exhale, take your hands down by your sides. Let's come into our squat. Take your hands to the mat. Join me in a tabletop. Now you could repeat a few rounds of that, but arguably we've just moved through pretty much everything we need to enjoy our pigeon pose. Before we come into actual pigeon pose, let's lay on our backs for a second. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh, and then start to lift the left leg towards you. Kick through this right heel. The toes are pulling back towards the shin. And we're trying to keep the knee and the ankle equidistant from us, from the mat. I like to point through the other foot. Now you can grab behind the hamstring of your left leg. That's more accessible for most of us. If you've got extra space and something you can work on in the future, lace up the hands in front of that left shin. Now try to pin your shoulder blades to the ground. Little tug of the chin towards your throat. Take a breath in. As you exhale, squeeze that left knee towards your body. It's taking the right leg with. Check out the right leg. If the knee is closer to you than the ankle, see if you can squeeze your outer right hip to bring the knee away. Let's take 2 more breaths. Inhale. Commit to pulling your left leg towards you as you send the right leg away. Keep that right foot active through the ankle. 1 more breath. Exhale, give it a squeeze. And this would be considered an earlier version of your pigeon, but I really think in some ways it's more challenging because it requires you to do all the work rather than relying on gravity. And you'll know you're done with that, not that it's happening today, when that calf is touching your chest. All right, switch out the legs. Left ankle crosses. Left foot is actively kicking through the heel. Hamstring's a little easier to grab. In front of the shin is more challenging. Let's point through that opposite foot. Now check out your left leg. Try to send the knee away from you in line with the heel. So that your leg is basically parallel to the floor, to your chest. Now take a breath. Exhale, commit to bending the elbows to squeeze that left leg as close to your body as you can. Don't hurt yourself. Send the left knee away a little bit. That's outer hip muscles. Breathe in. Exhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Pin your body to the floor. Let's go 2 more. Exhale, give it a squeeze. Last one. Exhale, give it a squeeze. And then release. Rock up. Let's come into our downward facing dog. Make sure you got your towel ready, your blocks ready. Here we go. Now when I come into pigeon, and I'm telling you should do this too, because it's not about me, it's about you. But we want to make sure that we're not rushing the leg forward. It's almost like you're trying to get in a pigeon before the foot comes down onto the ground. So let's take your shoulders over your hands. Start hugging that right knee right behind and a little wider than the elbow. Swing the foot out to the left. And then let that shin drop wherever it drops, right? So that was you making that happen rather than using gravity or the floor to make it happen. Let's slide your left foot as far back as it can go and then untuck the toes. Now this front leg might be better for you to point through the foot. Kicking through the heel probably makes it a bit harder. They're both valid choices. In the future, you might start kicking through the heel because that actually stabilizes your knee joint. But a pointed foot doesn't mean the knee is going to destabilize. The angle of your front shin is really up to you. So at first, your foot can be very close to the left hip. And I would argue wherever your leg landed and then we slid back, it's probably good there. Don't force the shin forward. Let's just accept this for now. I would ask that you come onto your tented fingers. See if you can lift the hips up off the ground to steer your back thigh to face the floor. It has a tendency to want to point out to the side. So see if you can steer the thigh directly at the ground. You might even look back. Make sure your toes are pointing straight back. Now, if this is hurting, you'll take your blanket, usually hurting the knee is what I'm talking about. You're going to bring it underneath your right hip so that your body has something to rest upon. It doesn't need to be very heavy on whatever it is, but if your body feels supported, it's more likely to relax, and then you'll use less folds in the blanket as time goes on. Let's slowly bring your elbows down, maybe onto blocks. One of the things you'll want to work towards is widening out the elbows, so maybe widen out the blocks. And as you're forward folding over this front leg, you want your chest bone in between the knee and the ankle. So if the leg is very angled, it's narrower, but you still want to fold right in between the knee and the ankle. If the leg is further out, that's fine too. You still want your chest between the knee and the ankle. Let's start leaning on our blocks. You can drop your head if you like. And if you don't need the blocks, don't use them. Step 1 is you stay on elbows. Step 2 is you'd widen out the elbows, maybe make a pillow with the backs of your hands for your forehead. Some people use a block underneath their head. And then the third and final step, which is not for everybody, is you reach your arms out in front of you. Then we would just scan through the body, make sure you've got no unnecessary tension. Notice if you're resisting gravity anywhere. And then see if you can stop it. Let's take 5 breaths. Four. 3. 2. 1 more, please. Calmly bring your arms back underneath you. If you're using blocks, toss them away. Tuck the back toes to lift the back knee. Move that towel out from underneath your hip. Step back to plank pose, keeping your shoulders over your wrists. Be nice if we could wash through that. So maybe your chaturanga, knees down is fine. Up dog. Down dog. And then second side. So I'm going to talk less, but it's all the same stuff. Draw your left knee forward a little wider than the wrist. Swing the foot out to the right. See where that foot lands. By sliding your back foot further back, this in turn will open up the front hip a little bit more. If you need your towel, tuck it underneath the left butt cheek. This is just going to take some of the pressure, rotation out of the knee. Tent the fingers, lift up, square that back thigh to the floor so your back thigh is dialing down. Check back at the toes, make sure they're not flagging out to the side. If you're using blocks, bring them under your elbows. If you want to widen those blocks out, if you're not using blocks, just widen the elbows. So step 2 is hands to the back of the head, forehead to the back of the hands. And then if you want more, arms all the way forward. And make sure that your chest is in between that knee and the ankle. Notice if you're dumping off to one side, not the end of the world, but you're going to try to lean towards center always, every time you get here. Let's take our 5 breaths. 4. 3. 2. 1 more long breath. Back it up. Hands beneath your shoulders. Get your props out of your way. Push into the palms, lift the back knee. Try to step back clean to a plank. Shoulders don't move back unless you need them to. We'll take 1 more wash through your chaturanga. Your upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Let's just take 1 more breath. Squeeze it back. Come forward to a tabletop. Get your legs out in front of you any way you know how. Now there are plenty of poses we could be doing right now, but we're just gonna do 1 to finish off to keep things a little more concise. Bring your feet towards your seat, reach your hands towards the heels. If you can touch, you'll know. You don't wanna go any closer than that, but maybe get that close, heels to touch your longest finger. Lift your hips up. Try to lift your toes up off the ground so you can find the big toe mound, the little toe mound, both inner and outer heel, while keeping your knees over the heels. The knees will tend to widen out, especially as we push higher. Relax your toes back down. Push into the elbows, push into the feet. Feel your chest lifting towards your chin. Exhale, squeeze the butt. Push your feet to the top edge of the mat without them moving. So it's traction forward, creates a higher lift. Last one, please. Squeeze. All right, bring your booty back down to the ground. Grab the backs of your knees if you want to rock up with me. Thanks for joining. Let me know if you have any questions, concerns, comments, feedback. Love to hear from you. And I can't wait to see you in the next flow.